YouTube, it is Toy Adventures here again with another video, and today I have a very unique review. This is unlike anything I've ever done before because this isn't really a officially released product. Today we are taking a look at a AliExpress oddity, something that I thought was for sure a scam, for sure, and then I started seeing posts about it not. I decided to get it for myself, and I have learned that it is truly not a scam. Guys, today we are taking a look at the third-party Ready Player One Mechagodzilla. Now, this is not made by any other company, I am assuming. I mean, it looks rather professionally made, but as far as I know, this is a custom of some sort. I'm sure some of you have seen these images of this floating around, whether it be on AliExpress or eBay or any kind of forums and posts and pages. This is the rendition of Mechagodzilla from Ready Player One, a super awesome look for Mechagodzilla, up there with my favorites. So I was super stoked when I saw that there's a figure of it, but when I saw it, I saw that it was from like just a random Chinese seller. So I thought, okay, well, that's probably going to be a scam. I mean, it's probably like they stole the image of like a custom or something, and then they tried to, you know, like one of those overseas scam things. But no, I saw a post that said, no, it's real. Like everyone thought it was a scam, and now everyone's finding out that it's real. So I thought I would do a review on it because I'm sure a lot of you are currently in the boat I was in, where you're like, is this thing real? How good is the quality? How is it worth the money? So I am going to review it today to let you know if you should buy this or not. I'm not going to give links on to where to buy it. Just know it's on AliExpress. Just type in Mechagodzilla on AliExpress, or it should be easy to find on eBay or AliExpress. If not, if none of you guys can manage to find this, I'll try and link in a pinned comment or I'll try and add it into the description. But as for now, you just know that you can find this there if that's what you guys want to find it. It's like 40-50 bucks, somewhere in that price range, and then you got to add on shipping. So yeah, just taking a look at this right now. It has a really nice paint scheme and a amazing sculpt. Like, there's so much going on here that I don't know how someone customly mass produced this, because it just looks so intricate. There's so much going on. You guys can just tell looking right here, there is just so much detail, sculpted detail, like the scales going back here, the really sharp fins back here. Now, I heard people say that these joints on here are NECA-like, so it's something that so people have been thinking that this might have been a canceled NECA prototype, and like there's just a bunch laying in factories somewhere. I don't know. I don't think there's any, stamping or marking on this, so I don't know who made it. Maybe it was going to be a figure, but the licensing didn't go through, and someone got the schematics or something. Who knows? But here it is now. So the sculpt is amazing. I mean, you got these little pipes going around here. You have the pipes up here, the little red chest light right there. I mean, this thing is just totally accurate to what you saw in the film. Now, admittedly, I haven't seen Ready Player One, but I have seen the awesome RX-78 2 Gundam versus this. And so I've seen the scene. I know the gist of it. I may have to rewatch it to fully, re-educate myself on it. So, but from what I can tell, this is exactly how it appeared. The paint on it is even really nice. You have this really nice metallic silver on there with like hints of wash on it, and it's scratched and faded in some parts, intentionally, not like it's been damaged. It looks like a real industrial look to it. Really awesome. I'm loving it. It's a really kind of more modern take on this 70s look for Mechagodzilla. So a more classic yet updated look. And that's why a lot of people really loved Ready Player Ones. It took the heart of the original and really sci-fi, kind of cyberpunked it. And I think it looks really good. admittedly, this is way better looking than the kind of Mechagodzilla we got in Godzilla vs. Kong. Not a really big fan of that design, to be honest. Not a big fan at all. But this, oh, I'm definitely a fan of this. Let's go into the articulation, because that is something I really wanted to know about when I first saw it. Now, you guys can probably tell I've been messing a lot with the knees. The knees right here are pretty loose. That might be just on mine, because like I said, I don't think these are completely mass-produced. I mean, I couldn't imagine they are, but if they are, then this might be a problem with all of them. So, starting with the head, we have a rotation here at the head, but it is pretty stiff, so I would beware. I can only really get it about there, and it really does move the entire neck section, so I don't even think the head on its own has only a very limited amount of articulation comfortably. And what I mean by that is I'm not positive if you can rotate the neck, because it's really stiff and doesn't give at all, so I don't want to just break it. So I don't think the head has too much of anything going on. Coming down here to the neck, you can rotate it. It is extremely stiff, so I mean, that's as far as I can really get it, again, comfortably. Going to this side, it goes more on this side, so I'm assuming you can go that far on that side, but again, I don't know how sturdy this is. Again, if it's based on a NECA built, then it's not very sturdy at all. So going down here to the shoulders. The shoulders have a nice range of movement. They're on ball joints right here, so you have in and out about that much. You can go out about that much, into the body. Rotation is full 360 degrees. Then you have a hinge right here at the shoulder, which gives you a ton of movement. Everything you're going to need for this. Well, it goes up to about a little bit more than a 90-degree angle, which is, in line with the kind of articulation this actual suit would have, or this bot would actually have. It's not crazily flexible, as you can tell by the design, but it does have the appropriate motion. The wrist right here, unfortunately, does not have any kind of rotation. Oh, wait. I'm really not trusting that. That feels like I'm almost breaking it, but I think it's on a... That is the most uncomfortable. I think it's on a ball joint. Okay, so it's on a ball joint as far as I'm concerned. So the wrist actually does rotate, so you can get that classic Mechagodzilla pose. So that's actually really cool. So it is on a hinge. So flipping it back, you get outward movement about that far. So, boom. And then inward movement about that far. It's kind of blocked by this little metal panel right here. So it is the same on both hands. Coming down here to the thigh. The thigh is on a ball joint as well and can rotate. I'm not going to go fully, but I can say comfortably that it could if you really tried, but I'm not going to risk it. Again, if this is based on a NECA figure, then the joints are infamously brittle. So, as we said, you do have a nice hinge here at the leg. A little too nice. It is a little too loose. So it goes out about that far, bends in about that far. Then you have another hinge right here at the ankle. Goes in about that far. You can go back about like that. And then I think... Oh, wow. No, that is definitely not supposed to happen. Okay. I thought that even the toes were articulated, but I saw I was bending the plastic. So there is nothing... No, there's a little bit going on at the foot. A very stiff peg right here. I don't know if it's a ball joint or not. But it does allow for a little bit of manipulation. I wouldn't quite call that articulation, because it doesn't really hold the pose, but it can move a little bit. If you really heat this figure up, maybe dip it in some hot water, not quite boiling, but around there, it should soften up the figure and allow you to move it on. That's actually how I attach the tail. You have to heat it up either by hot water like I did, or a blow dryer, a hair dryer. You blow on that for a while until it gets soft, and then you can plug it into the butt. So that is the articulation. Very nicely articulated for what I don't know is, again, I don't know if this is like some guy who just made the mold and then found a way to mass produce it or make a lot of them, enough to sell on both eBay and AliExpress. And I'm sure at least hundreds of people have bought this by now, at least. So, I mean, however they did it, it's incredibly impressive for just like an underground figure for what it mostly is. I mean, this isn't being sold anywhere at mass retail. This is an underground figure, and for what it is, it's incredibly impressive. So, now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let's go on to scaling, because this guy is deceptively big. The pictures don't really show how big he is, but I will show you now. And I will be comparing it to both Mechagodzillas and SH Monster Arts Godzillas. So, let's start out. And you can see his leg kind of giving out. Let's just start the size comparison. Alright, so, starting us off with size comparisons, we're going to go with 2014 Godzilla from NECA. We're doing NECA figures first. I only have two, so... Well, I only have two to compare. I have like one or two more. So, here it is. As you can see, Godzilla's head only really goes about to his collarbone, which is... I mean, these NECA figures are bigger than Monster Arts, not by a huge margin. These are about 6 inches. So a pretty decent sized figure. I mean, and as you can see, it still gets not quite dwarfed, but he is definitely significantly bigger. So, moving on from him, we're going to go to the next movie with 2019's King of the Monsters, Godzilla by NECA. And once he is a bit bigger, going up to about Mechagodzilla's throat. Just about there. Boom. Okay, so now that we've gotten that done, let's do Monster Arts. Starting off small, here it is with what it is based off of. The SH Monster Arts Showa Mechagodzilla. And this figure is actually quite, nicely sized with it. Once again, Mechagodzilla only goes up to Mechagodzilla's throat. So, I mean, the NECA scale figures, again, if this is, I don't know for sure, but if it is, they all have always been a little bit bigger, especially their Kong figures are like in scale with this. So, yeah, moving on from him, we're gonna get a bit bigger with 2019 Godzilla from, again, King of the Monsters. This figure is in so much demand right now. I am so happy I managed to get it when I did, which was at retail. Guys, if you guys want to get Monster Arts, my tip is you get them when they're at retail. Even if you're kind of iffy on them, just get them, because once they hit the aftermarket, their prices go skyrocketing to the point where it's just not viable. You don't want to pay $400, $500, outrageous prices. Even for the amazing figures you get, just because it has that Godzilla license, people jack up the prices. And like I said, you're going to end up paying $500, $400 for just an articulated Godzilla figure. It's nuts. And that's how I felt about this guy. I was like, I don't really know if I want it. It's really cool, but I don't know if I want it right now. And then I thought, there's so many Monster Arts that I want that are just completely out of my price range. And I don't know why. They're just crazy expensive and for no reason. Because they're licensed Godzilla stuff. It's nuts. So I got it, and now it's here, and I don't regret buying it at all. So, getting up a bit bigger, we're gonna go with another, this one's technically a bootleg. Uh-oh, I have a bootleg. The bootleg Monster Arts Ghidorah, because I don't have a stack to just drop on Ghidorah on a figure that I really can't do a crazy amount with. I mean, these are nice, but the Ghidorahs are very limited in what they can do without breaking. So, Ghidorah is, of course, taller than big old Mecha G right here. But they actually look really cool together. That's a really nice matchup. Possible movie idea? Toy Adventures? Yeah, keep dreaming, guys. Wink. And for those of you who want to be real scene completionists, well, you can't be a completionist here because I don't have the Iron Giant, unfortunately. But I suggest pairing this with the Universal Unit RX-72 Gundam. Such a cool fight scene. Part of the reason I got into Gundam. That kind of introduced me to it in a very, very enjoyable fashion. These go good together. I think the RX here is a little small, even in comparison. I think he should be a little about like that much bigger, but still too. The high grade would be too big. This is a nice little mini figure. They go great together. Really cool looking scene. Fortunately, he doesn't have his shield, so he can't do that. But yeah. Anyway, can I recommend buying this? If you can find this, and it's like, let's say, like I said, 40, 50 bucks, yes. It is worth it, unless the shipping's crazy price, because sometimes they try and suck you in with that, you know, regular price and then crazy shipping. But if you can find it, and with regular shipping, I say yes. If you are a Mechagodzilla fan, obviously, if you're just a Godzilla fan, I still think you'll get a ton of enjoyment out of it, just because it is so harkening back to the classic Mechagodzilla. If you're a Ready Player One fan, it's obvious, get it. But if you're just a NECA collector or 6-inch collector, you might be able to pass on this. It doesn't really have the quality standards of a mass retail figure. It's kind of loose in some parts and very stiff in others, and feels brittle in a lot of parts, especially the tubing. So maybe it's just a standard NECA figure. I don't know. I don't really collect them a lot. But I would say yes. This is worth your money. It is an awesome take on the Mechagodzilla. Better than Mechagodzilla versus Kongs, but you know, that monster arts, that looks really good, and I'm going to get it. So that is it for the review. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this review was helpful to you. Future videos are coming soon. I'm not forgetting you, Jurassic Park fans. Don't you think that, okay? I have had a kind of a boom in this new fandom I'm into. So I do find myself getting distracted. Admittedly, I will admit that is not good. But I will be continuing. I have ideas for Jurassic Park movies coming forward. So yeah, the future is bright. Guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Toy Adventures.